I understand, upgrade everything behind the scenes, move with the times, but you want Manchester United to be top, don't you? Because it's one of the biggest clubs in the world. But when he's the chefs, lovely people, don't get me wrong, but we should have upgraded the chefs. The chefs are all sitting there going, what's wrong with us? So,
but the chefs will be sitting there thinking, going, you know what? Here's a bloke who's on £500,000 a week, whinging about a jacuzzi and a pool. When the cost of living crisis and everything like that, the fans are paying ridiculous through the roof. When you talk about being portrayed, and I'm sure he's got his reasons and he's given them. If you wanted to make a statement, who do you make the statement to? Piers Morgan. This is a big statement that Cristiano Ronaldo is making, and he's made it to the biggest, arguably one of the biggest people that could shout it from the rooftop. Is this desperation for Ronaldo to get out of Manchester United? Is this the last straw for him, thinking, right, this is how I get out? I can't come back now.
Joining the show now to talk more about this is talkSPORT's football correspondent Alex Crook. Good morning to you, Crookie.
Good morning.
Morning, Alex.
Good morning. You're right. What did you think about this, Alex? When did you find out about it? And as a journalist, you to get an interview like this, obviously for Piers is massive, isn't it? But the comments themselves, how did you interpret it all?
Well, it's huge, and first and foremost, I think Steve's right. We need to congratulate Piers Morgan. This is a massive blockbuster story at any time, but particularly on the eve of what will probably be Cristiano Ronaldo's final World Cup. I first got wind of it. I was on the train, actually, after doing the Boot Room show last night, and a friend of mine at The Sun was telling me exactly what their front and back pages were going to look like this morning. And the penny dropped, and I realised what a huge 24 hours this could be. What did I think about it? I think it's a disgrace from Cristiano Ronaldo. I think it's cowardly in terms of allowing this to drop at a time when he knows he's not going to be anywhere near Carrington, anywhere near Erik Ten Hag, anywhere near the powers that be at Manchester United for several weeks now because of this upcoming World Cup. I think the points that he makes about the way the club has run, being stuck in a time war, we all know that. The Glazer family have run the club, not into the ground, but certainly it's not the institution that it once was. I think Manchester United fans will relate to those comments. I think he's made a mistake by going after people like Erik Ten Hag, who really has the backing of the supporters, because I think they can see what a tremendous job he's done since the start of the season. I think the players are buying into what he's doing. He's come for Wayne Rooney as well after Wayne Rooney's comments on talkSPORT. Again, Wayne Rooney is a legendary figure amongst Manchester United fans, so that won't do him any favours. And I think if you look at the reaction on social media, and I know this is only a small barometer of how people are feeling, I think if he was looking for sympathy, then not for the first time in recent months, Cristiano Ronaldo had misread the room. And to say that he's being forced out of a club that he was actively trying to leave in the summer doesn't really stack up. And let's be honest, this is not about Manchester United. This is about the ego of Cristiano Ronaldo. This is about a refusal to accept that time and age has caught up with him. He isn't the force that he once was. You can see that in his performances, not just for Manchester United, but for Portugal as well. I think there's a real concern amongst Portuguese fans that if he starts games at the World Cup, it's going to hamper their chances and could even see them exit the competition a lot earlier than maybe we expect. So I think it's poor from Ronaldo. I think it's a sad way for his time at Manchester United to end, and I think it does have to end now. I can't see any way back. And to accuse Ten Hag of disrespecting him, this is the guy who refused to come on in a match against Tottenham and who stomped off back to the tunnel to make sure that all the headlines and all the camera lenses were focused on him rather than the performance of his teammates. I'd imagine those in the dressing room have had enough of Cristiano Ronaldo as well. I think a lot of United fans have had enough of Ronaldo.
Alex, what about if looking from a Ronaldo side? I was best player last year, highest goal scorer, come back at the start of the season, didn't think it was this, I wanted to leave, put all his cards on the table, said I want to leave. He doesn't leave. He's not really played this season. What, from Ronaldo's side, does he have a point?
I don't think he does, Steve, because obviously he reported late for pre-season. I think he alluded in this interview that the reason for that is because one of his children is ill, and obviously we have huge sympathy on a personal side for Cristiano Ronaldo because of the tragedy that he and his partner have gone through in recent months. But he's come back. He's not fully matched up. I think you can see that when he's played for United. He slows the team down. Yes, he scored a lot of goals in a poor side last season, but you're only as good as your last performance. And I think if he does a bit of soul searching and he asks himself deep down, am I playing well enough to be a guaranteed starter in this Manchester United side? then the answer, I think, has to be no. And you say he didn't leave. I don't think that was necessarily Manchester United blocking him from leaving. I know there was a bit of a power struggle, if you like, between Ten Hag, who I think would have been happy for him to move on, and the Glazers, who still thought there was a benefit to keeping him at the football club from a commercial point of view. But he didn't have the type of offers that he wanted. He wants to play in the Champions League because I think he's obsessed. I think he's infatuated with Lionel Messi. And I think that rivalry is certainly more on Ronaldo's side than it is on Messi's. The only real offer he had, as I understand it, was from a club in Saudi Arabia. He didn't want to go there because he thought that would be an admission that his career at the top level was over. So I think the reason he stayed is because those offers from big Champions League clubs weren't forthcoming. And this is the problem now for Manchester United. As much as I think he can't really pull on that red shirt again, I think they're going to have the same issues in January. Which top European club is going to give Ronaldo the type of money that he's on at Manchester United? And which type of top European club and coach are going to be willing to take a risk that when they sign Ronaldo, they're going to get the type of circus that Ten Hag has been subjected to. It's a really difficult situation now.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods. Monday to Wednesday morning, 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.